Good to see you as always. Yes, on yesterday's conference call with the Broncos, a couple of the players said that they're well aware that they've lost 9 straight against the Chiefs, and it's actually been a topic of discussion. How often do you guys as a team discuss that winning streak against the Broncos?
No, we don't really talk about that at all, actually, against any team, rather. I mean, we could win 20 straight. I think it's all about the next game. How can we transition, from one game to the next, whether it was a bad or a good game? How can we learn from it, improve from it, and then move to the next game?
Go next to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Tyrann.
Hey.
Spags mentioned the fact that your guys' fight as a team, or at least as a defensive unit, is complacency. And he mentioned that he maybe hasn't seen it, but it's still something he wants to constantly remind you of. Just wondering how important you feel like that is, especially on a team that won the Super Bowl last year. And also, did you feel like that was a factor at all in what you saw against the Raiders?
Yeah, I think that's always a challenge. Anytime you have a successful team, championship team, and then most of those guys come back, to that very same team. I think the challenge is always trying to overcome that complacency, overcoming the feeling that you've done enough, that you've accomplished enough. So, but we got a lot of great leaders on our team. We got a lot of guys that love ball. I wouldn't necessarily equate, the Raiders game to us being complacent. I thought that those guys showed up, played harder than us. They made the plays that counted, and we didn't. So, I think we've tried our best to learn from it. But I think obviously that game, that feeling, is still in the back of our heads. We're trying our best to, avoid that.
We've got 3 more. We'll go right down the line. Todd, Adam, and then Pete to close us out. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, Tyrann, in the Buffalo game, there was quite a few defensive penalties, pass interference, holding, things like that. Not to talk about officials too much, but what's the challenge been like with the number of different guys you've had come through your defensive backfield this year and trying to adjust out there on the field and avoid those type of penalties, and how tough they can be on a team during a game?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough sometimes, especially, when you're, we play the kind of style of defense that we play. We like to press man. We like to get our hands on receivers. We like to be physical. And so we're going to try to, fight it our best to keep our hands low, to keep our hands, where they're supposed to be. But, it's a long football season. I think in our minds defensively, we're gearing up for playoff football, for the physicality of that. And so, I actually like the way that our corners play. Obviously you deal with a lot of, external things as well. But, just try our best to control what we can control, play to our levers, keep our hands low, and, hope that, some of these referees just let us play sometimes.
Let's go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Tyrann, because of injuries and suspensions, you guys haven't been whole in the secondary all season long. Once L'Jarius comes back, how much are you looking forward to that, to seeing what you guys can do when you're at full strength back there?
Yeah, I feel like, with the guys that we do have, I feel like guys are really stepping up, playing good defense. They're competing really well. Like I said, they're challenged at the line of scrimmage really well. I think once we're able to get, L'Jarius back, we're going to be able to do a lot more different things. We're going to be able to, obviously get more athletes on the field, get more speed on the field, disguise a lot more of our coverages. I think it'll give us opportunity to really, have three bump, run, press type cornerbacks on the field to really challenge the offense. So just looking forward to him, just obviously getting back healthy. But I know once he comes back, I think he's going to definitely put his hand in the pile, and help us finish this season out strong.
We'll go last to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Tyrann, it's another year with Spags where you're able to move all over the place, box, slot, occasionally free safety. How do you feel that this system maximizes what you bring to the table?
Well, I think, just from a mental standpoint, I think it just brings out the best in me. I'm able to do a lot of different things. I'm able to move around a lot of different spots, free some other people up, and even at times, be able to free myself up. So, I just got to stay patient with it. I think a lot of the work I do, doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but it will, later on in the season. So I just look forward to it. You know, I enjoy it. Obviously, I like moving around. I like, you know, not being in one spot. But I think just this defense brings out the best in me and, you know, a lot of other players, you know, on our defense.